Star Trek Lower Decks may have ended, but it has left behind a legacy that will last for quite some time. While of course we have tons of funny moments to laugh at,
This is the Alhambra. Did you get on the wrong ship?
the Star Trek animated adventures also gave us a ton of new Starship designs for the Star Trek universe. The showrunners went to extraordinary nostalgia-scratching lengths to give us fantastic animated versions of established Starfleet ships, such as the USS Voyager, the Enterprise E, and the Defiant-class Anaximander, just to name a few. Still, we're not here to talk about those, but rather the brand new Starfleet Starship classes added to the fleet throughout the 5-season run of Star Trek Lower Decks. We also won't be covering the USS Cerritos to any extent. Don't worry, you can check out our fully dedicated video breakdown of the California-class ship, which will be linked in the video description. With that in mind, let's warp. Welcome to Trek Central, I'm your host Captain Jack. If you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates on the Star Trek universe. While you're watching this video, comment down below which Lower Deck starship is your favourite. Honestly, I think mine might be the Parliament class. It's just a sleek starship. Get commenting your answers. Okay, engage with the core. First up, Starfleet's Parliament class. Ships of this class are more extensive than that of the California class and contain more advanced equipment, which includes, but is probably not limited to, fluidic processes that self-replicate their silicas, thermal mesh with a double lattice, and titanium hull brackets. These features were not present on the older California class, which may lead them to being an eventual replacement for the aging smaller sister ships, or simply a subsidiary where the same job needed doing, just with a larger, more imposing ship to a greater degree. The class, while more extensive, topped at only 11 decks, per the Master Systems display. It also shows, uncommonly for other Starfleet designs, usable interior deck space within the nacelle pylons, made more apparent by the deck window lighting, instead of simply being for the structure of the space frame and everything necessary to power the warp nacelles. The shuttle bay spans decks 6 and 7, with room for at least 9 shuttlecraft. At least 18 Argo-type ground vehicles are stored on decks 5 and 7. Notable ships of the class are the USS Vancouver, which the USS Cerritos assisted in demolishing the 5th moon of Mictus III, which was threatening the planet's inhabitants with extinction. The USS Toronto assisted the USS Titan, Enterprise E, and 2 California ships in towing Starbase 80 into a position at the new stable interdimensional rift. Another mentioned is the USS Manitoba. These would suggest the ships of the Parliament class are named after a Canadian province. For a full breakdown of the Parliament class, check out the full video here on the Trek Central YouTube channel. The USS Cerritos once encountered a sleek, black, dart-shaped vessel with an NX registry. It was emerging from an anomaly as a means of deliberate cloaking strategy, which itself raises suspicions, let alone the shape and colour, and not to mention, it is operated by Division 14 of Starfleet. This type of ship is referred to as the Osler-Type. The only known ship of the class is the Osler with the NX registry as 75300. The ship ferries patients with various issues to their person to a world called the Farm. This is where they can live carefree on their road to recovery. Such cases include body parts being out of sync, variously shaped heads, being merged with another person, being stuck mid-transport, or a dog that can turn into pretty much anything.
Anyway,
the ship appears to be named after Canadian physician Sir William Osler. The Obena-class is an immediate successor to the legendary workhorse Excelsior-class, which itself stood the test of time of over 100 years of operation, seeing upgrades, so much so that the USS Lakota went toe-to-toe with the Defiant.
That's a lot of firepower for an Excelsior-class ship!
Proving they could still stand up to the best of them. But when improving and updating the fleet, it made sense to honour them with the Excelsior II. The Obena was larger than the 34-deck predecessor and had a resemblance to the refit variant Enterprise B's secondary hull, notably around the deflector section of the engineering hull, also sporting angled aft-swept pylons attached to nacelles similar to a Sovereign class. We were treated to a ship of the Obena class, the USS Archimedes, commanded by Captain Sonia Gomez. The USS Archimedes was disabled by a wave of magnetized ionic plasma, setting on a collision course with the planet of Laperia. Though heavily damaged to the extent of losing a nacelle, the ship and entire crew survived thanks to help from the Cerritos. According to series showrunner Mike McCann, the class is named for Star Trek Lower Decks art director Nolan Obena. The Texas class was commissioned by Vice Admiral Les Bonomingo in a misguided effort to compete with other Starfleet flag officers. It was the fleet's first fully automated starship, consisting of 3 ships of the class, all sporting the NA prefix. The Texas class is a product of recruiting Sam Rutherford to code the artificial intelligence for a prototype during his academy years. An accidental explosion of his personal racing ship, the Sabrerunner, led to Buonamingo ordering him to be augmented with cybernetic implants, which would suppress his memories of working on the eventual failed project. The trio of Texas-class ships, the USS Aledo, Dallas, and Corpus Christi, NA-01, 2, and 3, respectively, all malfunctioned and became unhinged due to a faulty artificial intelligence, resulting in Admiral Buonamingo's death when he lost control of the Aledo in the subsequent attack on Douglas Station. The latter two deranged ships were destroyed by the Cerritos with a warp core ejection, and the Aledo, which survived and was very much upset, continued its attack on the Cerritos until it was overpowered and destroyed by the majority of the California-class fleet. The Sabrerunner-class was a class of Federation starship, but was in service with Starfleet during the latter half of the 24th century. The overall shapes and proportions of the design were almost exact to the Steamrunner-class, but changes were made to insinuate that it is smaller, such as the bridge dome being taller, different arrangements, and a reduced amount of escape pods. There are other subtle differences, like the shape of the angular deflector housing and features on the hull in front of the bridge. She could still pack a punch with multiple phasers and torpedo launchers. 2 at the front of the saucer and 2 aft of the deflector pod. The captain's chair featured a manual steering column and a pop-up LCARS interface. Those combined with the computer allowed for the entire ship to be controlled by a single crew member. The USS Passaro was appropriated by Ensign Beckett Mariner to escape Nick Locano's space dock, shortly before he came a Cola-Void starburst. The USS Passaro was named for the late CG artist Fabio Passaro, and the registry, NCC 52670, commemorates his birthday of May 26, 1970. The cargo vessel known as the Antares Type can be seen in the episode Terminal Provocations, in which it's present in a junkyard. At one point, part of it appears to be thrown at the USS Cerritos by a Drogmani captain. While a common sight in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, in the episode Grounded, Captain Gavin is rescued from the Phoenix replica by a runabout. More runabouts also appear in the episode Where Pleasant Fountains Lie. Right, so 3 ships in one go here, all seen together, then across other episodes. Second Contact, Crisis Point, and No Small Parts. It's a ship with nacelles atop the primary hull and no visible deflector, much like the inverse vessel over on the right hand side. Another is above the station with a saucer, evocative of a cobra head shape seen on the Galaxy Star Drive, but larger and a downward angled nacelles. A blink and you'll miss it ship is docked with a station in the episode An Embarrassment of Duplers. It is seen very briefly from the bridge of the Cerritos behind Ensign Barnes, primary hull, similar to that of the Intrepid, and a downward angled nacelles. At Portello's station in Tuvix, a ship is lurking in the shadows of dry dock. It has a similar configuration as an Akira-class, less a weapon pod. It is possible this is either an Akira-class or a variant of the class. There are probably more hiding in other places yet to be spotted, so if you've seen any others we've left off this list, please let us know in the comments, so we can keep a watchful eye out for the next time we watch Lower Decks. Okay, let's quickly cover the established Starfleet vessels which appeared in Star Trek Lower Decks. The USS Hood, an Excelsior class from the 2360s era, being fully realised and faithfully restored as an animated masterpiece. It appears in the 3rd season of Lower Decks. Starfleet's Sovereign class appears a few times throughout the series, portrayed by several ships, including the USS Wayfarer, USS Van Sitters, and the illustrious USS Enterprise E. As part of a holodeck simulation, the Constitution II refit appears for Ensign Rutherford's training, whereas the original series version of the Constitution appears in Boimler's holographic scenario opposite a Galaxy class, illustrating the chronogami effect. The Strange New Worlds version of the ship can be seen on Boimler's poster in the episode I Have No Bones, Yet Must Flee. It's a nod to the crossover with Those Old Scientists. A Nova-class vessel assists the USS Cerritos in rescuing the damaged and disabled USS Archimedes. It is the standard, like the USS Equinox, not the upgraded/refit Rhode Island variant. And whilst we're here, the ever so useless Obena-class, which for some reason has lasted far longer than is necessary, makes an appearance tractoring the detached nacelle of the Archimedes. A Miranda-class made an appearance in Mariner's holodeck program she was running in an angry rampage following the departing of best friend and shipmate Brad Boimler. It was used to escape her Cardassian captures. During a visit to Deep Space Nine, an Olympic-class vessel can be seen docked with a station. This is actually the USS Quito, and is a faithful reproduction of the USS Pasteur from the Next Generation's All Good Things series finale. The iconic Akira class, one of the Borg-busting badasses, makes an appearance chasing a small ship of a person who faked the visuals of Carol Freeman planting a bomb on the Packlet planet, leading to her arrest. Shuttlecraft-wise, both the Delta Flyer and the Galileo 7 type shuttlecraft appear in Lower Decks. The Type 6 and Type 6A both appear in multiple episodes. The Type 6A appears to be the standard shuttlecraft attached to the USS Cerritos and other starships seen in the Lower Decks era. However, Type 15 also appears in the show. The Defiant-class returns in a darker shade in the form of Section 31's USS Anaximander, or the Nax, commanded by William Boimler. The one and only Intrepid-class USS Voyager helps us relive so many memorable moments with the poorly bioneural gel packs, the macrovirus, the threshold salamander things, and various other exhibits of her journey through the Delta Quadrant. Finally, Star Trek Lower Decks also makes the Lunar-class USS Titan fully canon. We've heard of this ship for so long, but Lower Decks Season 1 finally made the design canon in the Star Trek universe, as Captain Riker and crew arrive to save the day at the last moment. It was truly one of the best moments of the entire series for me.
We're still at red alert! Target those ships and fire!
We're talking about this later.
So that's every known Starfleet vessel that appeared in Star Trek Lower Decks. Which was your favourite? Let us know in the comments below. If you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. For now, I've been Captain Jack, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Live long and prosper my friends, goodbye.